You're not going to believe this. Mostly people don't believe it because it's unbelievable. Even I don't believe that it happened to me. And there's another problem. When I talk, people think that I add stuff to what I say just because it is so unbelievable. But I try to be honest, and I try to keep it accurate. But this is really what happened, and you can be your own judge. There I was. My sister comes to kidnap me to take me to Champyong. And I get to Champyong, and I stay 80 days in Champyong. And you have to understand, at Champyong, we really do many things. Some of the things we do is pray. Some of the things we do is we lose weight. Some of the things we do is we cry a lot. And some of the things we do is we do indemnity conditions to improve our spiritual life. It's not an easy life at Champyong. And those of you who want to go to Champyong, I highly recommend it because it really did change my life. The most important thing that you need to know about why it changed my life is because of the miracles that ensued because I went to Champyong. You have to understand, I got Betty Davis eyes, and I got a Marlon Brando smile, so, even all crooked, And so I come from this really bad lineage, so I have all these things affecting me. And if I'm not really careful, I get really attacked in many ways. So I know that I have to be really serious, and the aggressive indemnity conditions are the only thing that saves my life. So when I went to Champyong, I had this kind of mindset. When I first got there, I came down with this really, really horrible cold. It was so horrible that I had little green men constantly coming out of every pore. And they were, I was sneezing, I had a fever, I had a rash, I could barely see out of my eyes. I had to walk up the hill leaning up backwards just to get up the hill to get to the prayer room. It was really seriously suffering life. But I never gave up. It was one foot after the other. It was another foot after the first foot. And it was like, is this going to end? Or is this not going to end? And then 80 days went by, and by the end of 80 days, I was kind of surprised it had ended, because after a while it was this lull of just a lot of everything. Here I'm kind of wondering the depth and degree of the gore I can explain to people, but think gory, think painful, think suffering, and you get closer and closer to the way it was. Well, on the 80th day, I was told that the police were about to come arrest me. I didn't know it was the 80th day until I got the phone call that said the police are on their way. And I went to see Mr. Kim, who we call Reverend Kim because he's the director. And he said, you better go to the Wonton because the police are after you, and I'm not really sure what to do. And I said, well, why are the police after me? And he said, well, you overstayed your visa, and by mistake, we did not tell the government that you were still here. So you're here like 65 days overdue. And we know what happens on day 66, don't we? So this is like the 66th day of being overdue. And it's also like, $3,000 fine and never get back to Korea and never be able to accomplish the goal of, praying for ancestors or liberating ancestors. All of that was at stake. So there I am going to this Wonjon, and I prayed 21 minutes. And after the first 15 minutes, God says to me, in 2 more minutes, you need to go outside and you ask the first 3 people who walk by if you could have $100 because you're about to get arrested and you're about to be kicked out of Korea. So I do this, and Kim Dada Chanji and David and Reverend Kim all give me $100. Now, I really want to let you know this never happens because at Champyong people don't carry money around with them. And people pretty much are not ready and willing to meet friends just instantaneously because the friends are not usually there when you walk out the door. So not only were the friends there, but they were ready and willing to give the money. So that is a miracle. That was the first miracle of many, many miracles that happened to me.